Good morning, FYI family. Welcome to our broadcast. We're broadcasting live national publicity here in Georgetown, Guyana. It's good weather where we are. We know it's full of not recipe. But we hope that you guys are good as well. Wherever you all are joining us from this morning, it's a privilege to be here. Another day, another week, the 25th day of November. It's gone, folks. It's gone. It's gone. What you didn't do already? You got to put to December. It's gone. Shireen Kirk and Karen and Lynette, Sandra Hanover, all you wonderful, fantastic folks. We're happy to have you folks here with us. We're heading into the season, folks. We're heading into the season. Good to have all of you on the live with us this morning. You all break up the house yet? Auntie Sandra, you break up the houses yet? Verlin Ward, Gwyneth Anderson, Claire Capel. Linda, we see you there as well. We see you. And all the other folks who are joining us. You all doing Christmas trees this year? I know. Things tight. Based on what the folks through Stabrook News are saying. You know, Stabrook News every Monday does the column, how the cost of living affecting you. And I don't know how many people are going to really go out there for Christmas. Yeah, despite how tough things get, people still trying to do something. Still trying to do something for the season. Is that you? Did I call your name just now there? People still try to do a little something, irrespective of how tough it gets. You know? Got to change the blinds. You know? Got to get that carpet. Got to get that carpet. Yeah, people. What are you going to do, huh? What are we going to do? Everett Small and Godfrey and what are we going to do? Denise, Colin, Jilly G, Region 11. Jilly said, we don't break up house. We don't break up house here. But Christmas preparations on the way. Everett Small listening in from Plainfield, New Jersey. I've been to New Jersey a couple of times, but I must admit, it's like I never have time to really go around and, you know, soak up all that is New Jersey. It's always to spot and go, to spot and go. You see? I guess if I had an invitation to come and linger a little bit, things might be different. If I had an invitation to linger, how different things might be. But good to have all of you on the live this morning. Good to have all of you wonderful folks on the live. And we're just trying to get ourselves into position at this end. Shamila Edgil, we see you. Donna, Gail, all the usual suspects. Paulette, we see you. Jilly G says New Jersey is beautiful, especially South Jersey. Especially, do we have agreement, folks? South Jersey. It's beautiful, especially Rihanna Mingo. As I said, you know, you can only come if you got invitation. You can't just show up on people's doorsteps like that. It won't be proper, you know. It just would not be proper. So I'm gonna conduct myself like a big person and not just show up, you know how. Shop at people's place. Brennan says yes. Leona says yes, it is. Michaela says yes, it is. So South Jersey it is. South Jersey it is. Leslyn says East Orange. Like we got carry this show to Jersey now. We got it's a parent South Jersey, right? Juliet Stewart watching us from Albany, New York. Albany sounds like money place. Albany, New York. Good to have you on the live this morning. Our brother and friend Ayindi is joining us from the Independent Republic of Tiger Pond. Or you're still in Brazil? Folks, you got to see the hinterland of this country. So beautiful. And IND lives in one of those far-flung places, himself and his family. You'd call them up north a blended family. He has a blended family. Beautiful, beautiful wife and kids. And like typical Guyanese, works hard. IND Jackson, he's alive this morning, works hard. Good morning to you, Gloria. Them fruits set as yet? Y'all still set fruits, folks? You buying your fruit set? The fruit set yet, Gloria? Morning to all of you joining us. Couple of things we're gonna toss at you right off the bat. Y'all didn't tell us over the weekend you had some problems again with Benjamin Netanyahu. Folks said the International Court of Justice has issued a wanted bulletin for the Israeli Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu. So I want Irfan and Jagdio and Anil them to take note. Nobody knows limits to the reach of international justice. See Anil suing Melly Mel for 100 million. I ain't want to work hard now. You don't work hard. Look, folks, people say all kinds of stuff about me. All kinds of stuff. If as soon as I get my little feelings hurt, I have my feelings like that. You want sue, you want sue, you want sue. Let's go after the real sue. Let's go after the real sue. Right? Hold on. Bommy says he thought I'd gone back with Moody. Folks, I am slated to be in that side of the Atlantic sometime next year. So, hold on, Bommy. Boomy, hold on, Douglas. Slated to be on that side of the Atlantic. Well, I think it's the Indian Ocean on that side there. Sometime next year. Just give me a heads up. Just give you a heads up. So, flesh and blood. Boomy Douglas, flesh and blood, as the good book says, then reveal that to you. You're tapping into something deep there. Boarding folks. So the arrest warrant issued for the Israeli Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu, and Anil on this side going after Melly Mel. I heard a man over the weekend said that the PP government has some of the most the best social media regulation or something to that effect, right? Like a very liberalized, people can say what they want here and you know, they don't go after people like other parts of the world and so on. Whatever. So the Israeli Prime Minister wanted, and also you got some senior members of Hamas, you know, there's a conflict there happening a little while now. The guys are wanted for war crimes, not much. Netanyahu in particular, he's being accused of starvation as a method of warfare and crimes against humanity. This comes out of CNN. We ain't just making this up. That's our authority, CNN. Said the fella wanted, yeah. How is your week started? Sue or be sued. Netanyahu wanted by the International Court of Justice. Or rather, that would be the ICJ. This is the ICC, the International Criminal Court. International Criminal Court. Wanted. True and correct. True and correct. And while that's happening on that side, you know, we love Venezuelan brothers and sisters. We see a little uptick in criminal activities, and too many activities involve Venezuelans. Negative activities, we say. Too many of them. We're hearing over the weekend a cop was stabbed while on patrol beside the Stabrook Market. What's happening here, folks? What's really happening here? What's really happening there? The police constable from Brickdam Police Station was stabbed on last Saturday evening. He said he was intervening in an altercation near the Stabrook Market. The officer at the time was in plain clothes and attempted to de-escalate a dispute between two women, one armed with a broken bottle, when he was attacked by four men, reportedly Venezuelan nationals. The officer discharged warning shots, prompting the assailants to flee. And he is now hospitalized with multiple stab wounds. But they said he's in a stable condition. Jack D on air finale says it's all right. Let the folks come. The police train, the military train, let them come. Let them come. We don't have no regulations that would, filter out. Let them come. We love our Venezuelan brothers and sisters, and we ought to help our neighbors as ourselves. Love your neighbors, the good book says. But you got to do it with a system in place. And folks, too many times now you read the headlines. It's a Venezuelan. It's a Venezuelan. And I'm certain. I am certain, as I'm certain of my faith in the Lord Jesus Christ, that we got some good Venezuelans, hardworking, obeying our laws, feet on the straight and narrow. But too many not flying their own standard with respect, not trying to fly respectfully. I live in a couple foreign countries. Lived in Antigua for a little bit, but I didn't know that. And I remember when my aunt was settling me down in Antigua. She said, one of the things she said to me, Brennan, Irwin, Loretta, Vesta, Onessa. I mean, she didn't call those names. She said, don't make the people uncomfortable in their own country. That was eons ago. I remember that. Don't make them uncomfortable in their own country. Coral Providence, you think you understand what I mean? How much y'all making Uncle Sam uncomfortable? Donaldson mass exportation. Mass exportation. How much y'all making the people uncomfortable? I like to see when people go overseas. I like to see people overseas. I don't know what is it about being overseas. Like I see some women, and men no doubt, do things they would never do. Like how the whole dressing appearance could change. You got some conservative, beautiful Guyanese women. Conservative. Soon as they meet JFK, take off the jacket. You see a different person. Don't make me uncomfortable in my own country. Too many of these headlines. do not show our Guyanese brothers and our Venezuelan brothers and sisters in a good light. Too many of them. So this police constable who was stabbed on Saturday night outside the Stabrook Market, they're telling us he's in a stable condition. And since that time, we've learned that the police, they've apprehended 6 individuals who they say were involved in this altercation that took this piercing turn. So you're watching that, folks. The gas to shore Godi is another thing on another topic trending this morning. The gas to shore. A lot of folks said this gas to shore energy project is going to end up like Skeleton Sugar Factory modernization project. Because the things that Jagdio hand touches, they don't turn to gold. Dross. Cross. That's what they turn to. So we learned this morning that this gas to energy phase 2 proposals have been extended. This project was supposed to have been completed since 2022. We're learning since 2022. It is about 4 times the cost now. Under the coalition, this project was costing about $500 million US dollars. Now it's about $3 billion. That's billion with a capital bill. US dollars. Price tag. And you all know PP deals with the prices differently because they got things to do. You gotta give back a 10%, 15, 20%. That's just consultation fee. You know, like people go in the living room and consult. So this is another project that is way behind schedule. You know, if Guyanese really vote on issues, maybe don't have a second term in them. I know our Guyanese brothers are going to vote on issues and make this regime a one term. So yet another project is going to be delayed. Yet another project there. So Larry, you think you understand? What happened in this? And just to give you another check on the temperature, 17-year-old injured in a shooting into fire. 17-year-old. Just give me a little temperature check. This 17-year-old they say is from B Fields of Fire. Sustained a gunshot wound during an early morning attack yesterday morning at Airfield Access Road. Further information reveals that the incident occurred around 2:30 a.m. when 2 masked men on a black XR motorcycle fired at the teen and his companion who were riding a red Honda motorcycle. Now, I won't say the obvious, but at 17, we outside with a companion at 2:30 in the morning. That's where you're going. So the pillion rider was struck in the right thigh and later treated at the Georgetown Public Hospital Corporation. Police are investigating the incident, canvassing the area for surveillance footage and questioning witnesses to identify the assailant. What are you doing outside at 2:30 at 17? What are you doing outside? Huh? at 2:30 in the morning. What are we doing? What are we doing? What are we doing? I don't know. And remember that we woke up the other morning, a few mornings ago, to learn a fire in the quarantine had claimed 5 lives, a woman and her 4 kids. Now the fire chief is confirming that that fire had its origin in arson. This was number 64 village under quarantine, November 12th, a few short days ago. A mother died and her 4 kids. Arson, Fire Chief Gregory Wickham says. Arson, the fire was maliciously set. And family members, I almost said family relatives, family members recounted that the fire began near a car, followed by an explosion. And this explosion quickly engulfed the house and spread to neighboring properties. The matter is still being investigated. Arson. Maliciously set. Yeah. Yep. That's what we're learning. 5 lives lost. A whole generation lost. For what? For what? For what? You know, over the weekend we saw a statement out of the this is the Private Sector Commission on what's happening on our roads. Add that to it. 2 a.m. shooting, fires, carnage on our roads. You remember last week? FYI had he had a 5:30 sort of with the leadership of the Ghana Police Force. Also on what's happening on our roads. PNCR on Friday had a statement as well. Carnage on our roadways. Here is the 5:30 and what FYI said at that meeting with senior Ghana Police Force leadership, and he was also in the company of the Attorney General.
One had to do with the accidents on the roadways.
Commissioner of Police must ensure that the traffic chief and his ranks are implementing to the fullest and maximum operability the laws governing the safe and proper use of our roadways. We cannot continue to have this type of indiscipline on our roadways.
He said that focus should be on the trucks and the truck drivers. At the same time, he said that he has asked the Attorney General to find the gaps in the legislation.
So truck owners can also have the responsibility of ensuring their drivers work within guidelines. As it is now, the law provides for the suspension of license. And I've asked the traffic chief, Commissioner of Police, the leadership of the Ghana Police Force to take immediate steps to have this law implemented fully.
For this year, there have been 18 suspensions. President Ali said that this doesn't address the issue. He said that he's procuring body cams for the police.
Force traffic ranks, especially, that those body cams be used in the execution of duties, traffic duties, so we can have video evidence and recording. I've asked that the cameras, the CCTV cameras, help us to identify these errant drivers.
Driving under the influence was another issue that he discussed with the police. The police are to ensure that the law is enforced.
All bars must carry signage within the bar to effect this law. Today, the Guyana Police Force is once again going to send rewarding for such signage that must be placed in every single bar across the country.
He said that his government is pursuing the suspension of bar licenses in the event of failure to enforce the complying laws. President Ali said that the police will also address speeding on the roads. There is technology in force on Heroes Highway to detect speeding.
Yeah. So what came out of that, folks? You know, I heard there were the bars. Now, we got a Ghana police force that could hardly even help us with loud music. We've seen citizens in this country crying out. These are residential areas that got bars and they can't even play within certain time frames. And let us rest a little bit. We could barely grapple with that. We can now want to monitor people who drinking excessively at bars. We can't even monitor the boom boxes. That's interesting. I remember some administration had a policy about bars closing at 2. We didn't like that. Now we got monitor the loud music. We got to monitor who drinking. So I don't know how we can tend to do that. Yeah. Well, the person got a cough in some tube, spit in some plastic bag. I don't know how we can monitor and all that's taken for testing. I don't know how we can monitor that. Who is drinking how much? Folks didn't like the bars closing at 2. Maybe you were one of them. We didn't like bars closing at 2 and so now we can monitor this road thing. We gotta go back to the bars. This bar thing here, this bar business. The bar business. We gotta go back to the bars. You know the shame. Right? The shame to go in that direction. See, we can monitor who drinking what. You know. You ever hear such madness? Oh, right now the police force printing, and they can send the information to the bars. Yeah. I could imagine the commissioner of police driving around now, handing out these prints. If I say I gotta read this thing and comply, read it. Read the wording. Very bottom house. Very bottom house. I give him bottom house. Bad name in this place now. Very bad name. This place. Ano guy Suko? Huh? What happened with guy Suko? You know, it's a tragedy. Lots of the issues that don't make the vice presidents corner shop show on Thursdays. A lot of substantive issues don't make the show. Thursday afternoons at 2, I think it is, the corner shop show. Don't make it. Substantive issues. That should. And I think one of the things is perhaps the quality of journalism we have. We got some fine, fantastic journalists. But the quality of the journalism Like a lot of journalists perhaps don't have beats, maybe they're just generalists. Wherever you catch your tech, maybe nobody following the sugar sector. Nobody has that as a beat. I don't know. But over the weekend, the lines for change, for instance, the lines for change was asking, what happened to a certain project? What happened to a certain project? They saw emerged over a particular space of time. What happened to a certain project? And then it emerged and it disappeared. And that in itself was an interesting headline. An interesting, I think, editorial either on Friday, Saturday, could it have been yesterday in Sabbath News. That you hear so many projects emerge, but then you don't hear back about them no. And like a lot of journalists don't keep tabs on these things to follow up. So that when they're in these high-powered, high-level corner shop show meetings, they could ask. For instance, the Enmore manufacturing facility. The Lines for Change issued a press statement on this over the weekend, saying that it's nearly 3 years since the announcement of a $37 million Enmore manufacturing facility by Guy's Sons. About 3 years now, and nothing happening. The progress of this project remains elusive. Nothing happening. Elusive. Yep, none doing. And as always, with this PP government, when this project came to the public fore, you heard the promise that it's going to be transformative. It's going to be a transformative project for the oil and gas sector. And the facility was expected to create 150 jobs in the first year. In the first year. And 500 jobs over 5 years. However, we're learning this morning, thanks to the Alliance for Change and this statement over the weekend, that over 55 acres of prime land leased for the project that was intended originally to be part of the revival of the sugar industry, they lease it now to a project that was going to bolster what's happening there, oil and gas. The land is largely undeveloped. 5 years later, the land remains largely undeveloped. And this is raising concerns about transparency and accountability. Why none of our journalists and us? You know the app now. We're in government. Every week it had, what happened with sugar? How sugar doing? How sugar going? What are the numbers? What are the this? What happened to this? What happened to that? 3 years later, the land is undeveloped. We have no updates on this promised transformational project for the oil and gas sector. But you all know where we're going right now. The fact that they took this facility, they took these lands, arable lands for cane, and put the uses in another direction could tell you where sugar going in this country. Don't let anybody fool you. They said they're going to renegotiate the 2016 production sharing agreement. It remains elusive. Right? We're going to make sugar great again. How are we looking? How are we looking with sugar? Huh? But we can give you the thoughts of some folks on the sugar belt just now. How are we doing with that? How are we doing with that? We're going to renegotiate. Oh, we got a project for Enmore, a manufacturing project. 37 million US dollars. 500 are going to be employed. And some people say, yeah, PPP time, PPP time. A cash grant was announced more than a month ago, the 10th day of October. You name me one Guyanese who get the cash grant since. The 10th day of October, Irfan went to the National Assembly. He said instantaneously, $200,000 per household. You see these promises of the PPP? You all see these promises of the PPP? Last week, Irfan told us, Modi will be helping us. Wilton Leslin. Leslin says he's still waiting number $25,000 for COVID. Leslin says she still got pink slip. Now they said the Indians are going to be helping us. The Indian government going to be helping the sugar industry. Take a listen.
This was the second visit by an Indian Prime Minister to Guyana. The first was in 1968, when Prime Minister Indira Gandhi paid a state visit to Guyana.
Prime Minister Modi's visit represents a significant milestone in enhancing cooperation between our two nations and across multiple sectors. During our meetings, we signed several key agreements in critical areas such as hydrocarbon, health, agriculture, technology transfer, and we further discussed collaboration on infrastructure.
He said that there were also discussions on defense and technology transfer.
These are areas that India is already collaborating with us on. But we have decided that given the key nature and importance of these areas for Guyana and the regional development, that will further expand our cooperation in these areas.
Of interest is that India has committed to supporting Guyana's sugar industry.
Not only from an infrastructure perspective, but also from a human resource and technical perspective. They will support us in expanding our corn, soya, and looking at wheat farming and production here in Guyana, food processing, and important to all of this is research and development.
Prime Minister Modi said that India will continue to assist in capacity building.
Friends, during our meeting today, we discussed several global and regional issues. India and Guyana both believe that all problems should be solved through dialogue and diplomacy. We both agree that reforms in global institutions are the need of the hour. Climate justice is a priority for both of us.
Modi lauded the contribution of the Indian community in Guyana. He said that this community laid the foundation some 180 years ago.
This is a matter of
Yeah, folks, these are all things we got to keep our hands, our minds on, right? We got to keep our hands on. We got to be hands on. Because our journalists got to remember them and say, what happened to the help the Indians promised us? What happened to this MOU 5 months from now? How is that going? What happened to this MOU in health and this MOU in technology that Modi state visit promised? What's ever happened to that? I find too many journalists just going to hear what the vice president said. You report back verbatim. No research is being done, no follow-ups being done, or so on. None of that. 3-day quote unquote state visit. We got to follow up on these things. Follow up. That's what we got to do. Follow up on them. Listen to some of the other things that came out of this Modi state visit recently. The MOUs in particular that we have to follow up on. Like how we got to follow up on this and more manufacturing plant facility.
One of the actions he took was to complete some landmark decisions.
The two governments have agreed on several areas of cooperation that will further strengthen bilateral relations and advance the development interests of both sides.
That was Minister Kwame McCoy. Health Minister Dr. Frank Anthony signed a memorandum of understanding with his Indian counterpart.
The MOU provides the basic for both Guyana and India to exchange information and collaborate on good laboratory practices, good clinical practices, and good manufacturing practices, and good pharmacological practices in health.
There was also a memorandum of understanding between the two countries in the hydrocarbon sector.
The Memorandum of Understanding establishes a framework for Guyana and India to enhance bilateral collaboration in the hydrocarbon sector. It encompasses investment promotion, technology transfer, joint studies, and capacity building across the entire hydrocarbon value chain.
The third memorandum of understanding was in the field of agriculture.
This Memorandum of Understanding promotes collaboration between Guyana and India in agriculture through joint activities, exchange of expertise, and capacity building. It focuses on agricultural crops, climate resilient practices, value-added products, and advanced technologies, emphasizing a mutual commitment to food security and agricultural innovation.
Guyana also entered into an agreement between the Bank of Guyana and the International Payments Limited.
And this Memorandum of Understanding aimed to establish in
Yep. So a number of MOUs signed there, including that one for the farmer. Number of MOUs signed there, including that one, the big word one. You know, Kwame's moderating of that event was as a train wreck as the GCOM press conference last Friday. like they give him the script the same minute he was going on there. 2 minutes, 3 minutes, 4 minutes, 5 minutes, 6 minutes, 7 minutes, 8 minutes, 9 minutes, 10 minutes, 11 minutes, 12 minutes, 13 minutes, 14 minutes, 15 minutes, 16 minutes, 17 minutes, 18 minutes, 19 minutes, 20 minutes, 21 minutes, 22 minutes, 23 minutes, 24 minutes, 25 minutes, 26 minutes, 27 minutes, 28 minutes, 29 minutes, 30 minutes, 31 minutes, 32 minutes, 33 minutes, 34 minutes, 35 minutes, 36 minutes, 37 minutes, 38 minutes, 39 minutes, 40 minutes, 41 minutes, 42 minutes, 43 minutes, 44 minutes, 45 minutes, 46 minutes, 47 minutes, 48 minutes, 49 minutes, 50 minutes, 51 minutes, 52 minutes, 53 minutes, 54 minutes, 55 minutes, 56 minutes, 57 minutes, 58 minutes, 59 minutes, 60 minutes, 61 minutes, 62 min He didn't have it before. Farm. I sure when Modi and his team flying back in the big plane in the 747, they must be playing them back saying, what the hell? Was he trying to speak Hindi? Folks, we don't make this stuff up. You see why we can't stay upset in this country with each other for too long? Yeah. That's what he said, Tracy. That's what he said. You know? That's the best we could do. That we allowed Michelle Abrams to every national event. Oh, she must be tired now. She must be crawling. She said, I can't make this one. I can't. You have to take Kwame. Thank you, Kwame. Thank you. How much more this government could shame we? How much this government could shame we? And then the guy surprising Modi, telling Modi how Jagdu got children and Father of mercy. All of them had to enjoy the one day, you know. Farm. Y'all didn't see it. Y'all didn't see it. Kwame moderation of the bilaterals. Y'all didn't see it. I told y'all the thing was a train wreck. I told y'all that. And this is a fella, he's a whole minister in the family. He's a whole minister. You understand why now? Under his stewardship, state media is the way it is. I saw Anil on NCN doing an interview. It was a rare occasion because Anil got your own show. Ministers don't go on NCN and sit down and talk nothing because nobody don't really watch NCN thanks to Kwame. Nobody don't listen to NCN. DPI. Every minister got their own show. And they got NCN, DPI, the room with the news, they got all of those outlets. Everybody got their own show. If they want me left, he got your own show now. In the seat. I hope it wasn't a one-show wonder. We hope it wasn't a one-show wonder. Y'all need some farmer intervention. That's what y'all need there. Farmer. I intend to make y'all start the week light, you know. Heavy stuff I'm bringing in. Farmer. Better know yourself. Better know yourself. Cost of living, boy. Cost of living. Here's some people said, quite interesting. Look, Starbucks News went down to Port Morant. This is Heartland. PPP. Heartland. Port Morant. Heartland. When you hear some people say some things, it's because they ain't got nothing else left. When you hear some people reveal some things to you, it's like people have taken all that they have from them. I ain't got nothing left. Listen to my truth. I ain't got no pride left. I stripped him of dignity. Listen to my truth. This is Heartland PvP. As we wrap up, as we watch the clock. Right? We keep you all on longer, young, I get some farm. Keep you going. Keep you attentive. Farm. I see my coalition brothers, what's his name? Buxton Morning Time. I was with him just last week. He has a show for 3 hours. I don't know how he does it. I don't know how he does it. Now we can take a 3-hour break in between. Come back in the evening. 3 hours. I give him his props. I give him his props. Right? He probably on a lot of farming. you gotta got stamina. Thank you. So this is the 104th iteration of the Cyber News Monday column. How the cost of living affecting people. Shelley Augustus is 27. Shelley Holbach, she said the cost of items expensive at the shop. One time. The cost of items expensive. Expensive at the shop. Expensive. One time. As you get older, you get less appreciation for dilly-dallying and shilly-shallying. Right? You know, going wrong, coming wrong. Tonight, I see some folks saying play back the clip. I'm going to pull out some from that thing and you're going to wonder, is the whole minister this? Representing us? When the Indians fly back in the big plane, must he laugh we drinking the coffee, laugh at us. Modi said to the parliament, he said the women vying at the different levels of government or in government, women, 1.4 million. They got 1.4 billion citizens in India. The women alone in the government system is more than we population. We ain't shame. Huh? We got 17 of us in this country. And we can't even manage it properly, PPP. We ain't shame. Shirley Augustus, Port Moran. She said the cost of items is expensive in the shop. Right? Listen to this. Listen. Here is Shelley said. Shelley said, it has a shop nearby where my husband and I, we credit food items. And when he get paid, we pay the bill. Shelley living in Heartland. Right? This red wave epicenter. She said, I got a shop nearby. We trust. We credit. My husband is working with the estate. And when he get paid, we pay the bill. She said a couple of months ago, chicken was 2,000. A chicken cost 2,000. Now it's 2,200. A couple of months back, a 10 kg Caribbean rice was 2,200. Now it's 24. Here what Shelley said, if I could only get a 10-day work, if I could only get a 10-day part-time, it could help me support my children. Prince Fabulous said Shelley like duck. This what people say these things when they got nothing left. Prince Fabulous, she said it has a shop nearby where I'm quoting Shelley, according to Sabbath News. It has a shop nearby where my husband and I credit food items, and when he get paid, we pay the bill. Shelley said, I wish I had a 10-day work. Prince Forbes Child says, husband tapes him out. Husband tapes, it's the truth. If there's trust, there's trust. If there's trust, there's trust. The Vindra hemorrhage. Port Moran. He said the cost of living tight. His words. For me and my family, because the cost of everything gone up sky high. The cost for everything gone sky high. His words, the cost of living is tight for me and family because the cost for everything gone sky high. Devendra hemorrhage. The cost of rice and flour gone up. Right? Months back, 45 Caribbean rice was 6,007 now. Right? No, sorry. He said it was 6. Sorry, my apology. He said it was 7,000. Now it's 9,000. A couple of months back, a pint of split peas was 160. He said now a pint is 300. You gotta give up your dal now. Right? So PP, come for me, people gotta give up the dal now. You gotta give up your dal now. Pint was 160. It's 300 now. Vanessa Ramcharan said the cost of everything pretty high. My husband and I, we live alone. We got baby on the way. The utility bills ain't that high, but the grocery bills. Listen to Vanessa. Vanessa Ramcharan, her husband working with the estate. Vanessa says, this is Heartland, Port Moran. Vanessa says sometimes when I go to the market and I see the prices for greens, right? She said, I don't buy it. You ever been to the market, been to the shop, you see the prices, I can just go home and stay hungry. She said, I prefer to buy chicken. Right? She says sometimes when I look at the fish prices, I can't even afford to buy fish because the price is high. I don't know if we're importing fish. She said, I prefer chicken. I think she prefers her fish. When I look at the fish price, this is what Vanessa said. Vanessa Ramcharan from Port Moran. Listen to this. We can wrap on this note. She said, my husband is working at the estate. Right? And she says, not stable work. Because the money my husband receives, it fluctuates. He gets an imbalanced paycheck. These are her words. He gets an imbalanced paycheck. The money's fluctuate. She said, but what are we going to do? We just got to work with the paycheck my husband receives and cope with the cost of living. We can't afford fish. We trust him from the shop, man. My husband's salary fluctuating. It's the economy. It's the economy. And this reminded me of what people said, or why people said they voted for Trump People say we ain't got time with Jennifer Lopez. We ain't got time with what's the other young lady name? The big superstar. Recent one. Taylor Swift. We ain't got time with Taylor, Oprah Winfrey. We got time with we pocket. And we trust Trump could manage the economy better. It remains to be seen. It remains to be seen. But it was the economy. People say we ain't care if he convicted 10 times. You know? Who crutchy grabbing? You know? How much he in love with Putin? The other one from North Korea? Pyongyang? He ain't concerned Kim Jong-un? We voted with pocket. We voted with pocket. They said me, we trust for the shop. I'm not like you. Tell you the truth, we trust. Jesus have mercy. Fastest growing economy on paper. Biggest GDP per capita on paper. How Port Moran people? Y'all do what you gotta do. Y'all do what you gotta do. Do what you gotta do. Do what you gotta do. Port Moran people, the thing's tight. You one of the respondents on which the thing's tight. Einstein says madness is doing the same things over and over, but we're expecting a different result. Albert Einstein. Doing the same thing over and over. He said that's madness. And he expects a different result. Different result. Right? If the PPP went in power for all them years over the APNU, and only now all them land sharing, was APNU the problem? APNU had 5. When APNU came in, you had 23 on them. And so you know all the land you are claiming? I got colleagues who tell me they got to buy land, they got transport, they never see the land. They were never even given a little map that said this is the plot here. Right? They know the area. Some of you out there the land there, whichever the finger pointed. Some of you out there the land there. They know the general area. Right? They know it's Commons Lodge. They know it's Diamond at the back. Some of you out there. They pay for the land, they got transported, but they never see it. And then you got some other people too. Right? Some other people pay and stuff, but they ain't got no transport or nothing. Right? And some people, and these are people who know the land there. Look at it right there, but I ain't got nothing for it yet. I pay already, I ain't got nothing. I ain't get the agreement to sale yet. I ain't get transport, I ain't get nothing, but I pay. All guys have receipt. 23, people had 23 years before they came out of power in 2015. And then they get 4 now. That's 27. Next year's 28. And everybody get land yet in this country? You still have 50,000 house lots for give out. In a bad shape. And we can see you guys back on the next one. Thanks for joining this humble morning podcast, morning show. Thank you guys so much. We got 1,400 of you on the live this morning. Thank you so much, folks, for being here with us. We're going to see you guys back here on the next one. Stay safe. Stay safe out there. Stay safe.